Part 2 of the Somali slave trade game, and this is King Jareer in your ear. I'm so fit I don't fit in, and this is the Chaos Edition, not a Cave Edition. Now this may ruffle some feathers and shake up some caves. First and foremost, that star game is an illuminant, so that's the light game, and it's a white game, and it's a mall game is a milk game. Goat milk, or camel milk. Either way, that's the lactose persistent gene, and that's a gene that's not common in Africans, only common in invaders and desert dwellers. Okay? Enslavement of Nilotic people. Some Nilotics and Oromo people were also enslaved by Somalis, though their experience differed from that of the Bantu. Origins and status. Oromo and Nilotic people were often captured locally during wars and raids in border areas, unlike the Bantus. Oromo captives were sometimes favored by the Somali captors because they were not viewed as racially Jareer. Racially. You know how they keep trying to say Jareer means hair? Hair is heritage, and the hair is produced by particular people. They keep trying to sugarcoat it. It just means this type of hair. It just means that type of hair. Whatever type of hair is still produced by a particular type of people, so it's still racial. It's racial. That's the bars. It's still racial. Some of these captives were absorbed into a patron client system rather than a lifetime of forced agriculture labor. Distinctions in treatment. The perception, treatment, and duties assigned to the enslaved Oromo/Nilotic people were often different from those of the Bantu. This social stratification influenced their subsequent integration into Somali society. Integration and assimilation. Client relationships. Many enslaved Nilotes were absorbed into Somali clan families, leading to a degree of assimilation. This patron-client system was a central feature of enslavement for locally captured people. Prejudice and discrimination. While not subjected to the same racialized segregation as the Bantu, they could still face discrimination and lack the full rights of other clan members. Slavery and resettlement. Some Nilotes, such as the Kore, were captured and sold into slavery on the Somali coast in the 19th century. While Nilotes are not native to Somalia and are not part of the native Somali people, some Nilotic groups have been brought to Somalia, particularly as enslaved people. For instance, see what I'm saying? These people saying they half mix and half that, when their history has a slave history of them. They're saying they're of them, they're from them, and enslaving them, but then not viewing them as the Bantus. It's a lot of crazy stuff with this. We're gonna break this down. For instance, some Nilo-Saharan speaking people known as the Kore were sold into slavery from Kenya into Somali coastal regions in the late 19th century, and they later became integrated into the local community. Therefore, some individuals with Nilotic heritage exist in Somalia. That's why they hit this "I'm mixed" shit, often through historical intermingling rather than an indigenous population. In summary, while Somali's indigenous population is not Nilotic, you see how they saying they from the Kushite is saying they from the Nilotic, and they saying the indigenous population is not Nilotic. The historical presence of enslaved Nilotic people has led to the presence of individuals of Nilotic heritage within the Somali population today. See, that's the finesse. That's how they connected themselves to the Nilotic. They said, we're going to pick them because they drink milk and they skinny too, and they let us in and we betrayed them. And it's a lot of stuff with this. We're going to keep going. We must understand there's a difference between slave and servant, and voluntary servant. See, remember, Nilotic and Oromo And when they enslave their own kind, they are servants. They're not slaves. There's a difference. Look what it says: abolish slavery and involuntary servitude. They were under involuntary servitude. The slaves did the agriculture. The slaves did agricultural work and everything else. Anybody that was of their own yoke or had some type of closeness in some way, shape, or form, or you was a pick-me, or some, I don't know, you had some genetic similarities, because they drink the milk, they drink the milk. Nomadic pastoral, they nomadic pastoral. We don't do migrations, bird migrations. Bird migrates and things like that. We don't migrate because we have food and water. You migrate for food and water. They didn't have food and water in them deserts. So remember, they dealing with the involuntary servitude. We dealing with the slavery situation. We can show endless situations where slavery was associated with our race alone. They're still calling us slaves today in 2025. Let's run a gun. Here's the difference between them and us. They're not of the Negro race. So remember, we are in America, Africa, the Caribbean. We're all over the place. We have wide-nosed, woolly hair, and pernoptus. We do not drink milk. We do not live in deserts. That's the difference. We are not nomadic pastorals or agriculturalists. That's the job. We come from the rainforest. The trees produce. There is no hunting and gathering shit. We would be foragers. The natural teeth situation and our autonomy. We are not predators. We are not meat eaters or milk drinkers. You got to know your structure. Shouldn't nobody teach you that shit. You don't have no predatory tools to do no damn hunting. You do not have the digestive system to process none of that fuckery. That's why you're getting all type of prostate cancers and every other cancers and diseases by eating these animals and being in close proximities with a lot of these lice-infested animals coming out the caves. Let's run a gun. When you get into their biome, your biome is your natural habitat. They come from a desert climate when they come out them caves. That's the only place they can survive. And that's what they create, byproduct of their culture. Land clearing. Remember those pyramids? For them pyramids to be there, you must clear the trees that's there, clear the vegetation that's there by way of ghosts, camels, or your wars, or your cursed. Some people say you're cursed. In reality, it's your culture. It's civilization. It's government. Remember, this produces the oxygen for the earth, the rainforest. This don't produce no oxygen. This is dead soil. A civilization, all civilizations are war, enslavement, and dead soil. And the people who are the slaves are the black people, wide nosed, woolly hair, the brown skins, not them dark skinned Nilotic desert dwellers. We just shown that they are favored and not even viewed as different. And they drink milk, and they nomadic pastorals living in them deserts. So remember, we got them Khoisans in them deserts, them Kushites in them deserts, them Nilotics in them deserts, the Tutsis, Fulanis, Bedouin, Berbers, all in these desert climates. Look, either desert or semi-desert. It's right here in your goddamn face. Don't act like I'm making this shit up. You're in a desert, semi-desert biome. You Khoisans, you Kushites, you Nilotics, Berbers, Bedouins, Egyptians, all these dry climate-ass pyramids and drought, famine-stricken ass places. That's not a flex. The land is dying. All the snow in all of these places, snow-capped mountains and Somali, Kenyan desert expansion, and come on, get the fuck out of here. And remember, this for educational purposes. This may ruffle some feathers and shake up some K-hay-haves. Knock some lice out your heads, out your fur. Flip your teepee, melt your igloo. Huh? I said this might flip your teepee, melt your igloo, knock over your sandcastles. We knocking over sandcastles. Remember, this for educational purposes. This is for educational purposes. This may ruffle some feathers. Hold up, time out. We got some time. Oh, I'm coming out the snake pit for this. You know how they come out the snake pit. You know they coming out disguised. Disguised as humans, but they avian Nephilim bird people. Children of the cave, desert dwellers, Sandman, Iceman, Caveman, sand, land.